What happens if you can't afford to live where you're living anymore? And to be honest, that's the sad, true reality for many people in the world today. And I am not, that's not a foreign concept to me either. I understand. I am an American. I live in New York in 2026, and I understand how difficult it is economically and financially for people in this country, in America. Um, I'd love to talk about the world right now and talk about the economy and how life is like financially in other parts of the world, but I just don't know that much about what's going on. I can speculate and give you information and do my research and talk about different things, and I would love to and I will, but that will only be information that I can acquire from research and studies. So, right now, I can only speak about my life and my experience as an American. And I like to believe that I'm pretty focused and I pay attention to details and I'm good at reading between the lines. So, and I pay attention to what's going on in the world and in the country. I see the trends. I'm a Gen Z, so I'm on social media as well. I think that I can see that there is something in the air that's causing people to be greedier than normal. And what I mean by that is people in their kind of heart of hearts, inside in their, I don't know if it's their brains, I don't know if it's their hearts, I don't know if it's just their intuition, but they know shit is about to hit the fan. Excuse my French. Stuck for a law. But they know things are about to just, you can feel it. Like, you know how when horses can kind of feel a storm coming in before it even happens, people can feel things uh, that are gonna become not so great, because right now we're becoming desensitized to a lot of different things. We're becoming desensitized, most importantly, and most horrifyingly, to hate. We're being desensitized to hate. Hate from world leaders, hate from people that you're friends with, that you're related to, hate from strangers online. People just don't care if you hate them or they hate you. People just have this. What I say is ego, but I think it's even worse than that. I think it's people are brainwashed to have that ego. They don't actually, like, they're not. It's not an innate quality in them. They're brainwashed to only really care about themselves, and you will see this in more certain pockets of the country more than others. And I'll give you an example. Um, I used to work at a job, I won't say where, but once I left that job, I started doing like Uber Eats and stuff. And I was doing Uber Eats in Maryland, right? So I was doing Uber Eats in Maryland, and I would get like $10 tips on average, which was insane to me, but I thought that was normal. Sorry, excuse me. And then when I moved back to New York, I started getting like $1 tips, $2 tips. And I honestly wasn't surprised. No one, like people I would tell, they're not surprised, obviously. Like that's something you would expect. But that is a byproduct. Sorry, excuse me. That's a byproduct of the ego. And you are in more scenarios to display and harden and strengthen that ego in city environments where things are buzzing around, things are moving, energy is kinetic, and just so much going on. You meet probably not hundreds, but you meet tens of people a day in the city. And in the suburbs, if you live in the suburbs or rural areas, you don't have as many interactions, most likely. You'll have some, but on average it's going to be way less. And you spend a lot of alone time, and you you sort of kind of find yourself a little. I'm not saying that people in the suburbs are less egotistical, because I've lived in both the city and the suburbs, and trust me, people are egotistical both places. But it really depends who you are, because if you're putting yourself in an environment where you're constantly having to be having your ego challenged, you're gonna have a false inflated sense of self, right? So uh, like give for example Mike Tyson. He says, and I think this is a good example, and I don't think this is I don't think this is something that can happen to the average person, but it is an example that you can use to describe the average person. So Mike Tyson says he doesn't work out because his ego gets too high when he does. And if you know Mike Tyson, obviously, who doesn't know Mike Tyson, but he is jacked, right? I don't know if he's on performance enhancing drugs. I don't think so. I don't think he is. Maybe he is, but I don't think he is. I wouldn't know, but I think he just has really good genetics, and he says when he works out, he gets really big inflated ego, and I think that is sort of an exceptional case, but I think that is a good example of how human nature is. When you're putting yourself in a new environment and you're having to adapt, such as building muscle and becoming a new person, basically looking like a new person or feeling like a new person, being stronger, you become a new person, and at times it could be good, sometimes it could be good, but if you're not grounded, if you don't have, let's say, faith, if you don't have God, if you don't have good, if you weren't raised by good parents, whatever, that can turn out not good. Like, for example, I'm not going to say, I'm not, okay, I might filter myself a little bit here, but I think I have a friend who, although he's cool, he's calm, he's humble, you can tell he has an ego, right? You could tell, like, he won't text you first, he won't message you first, he won't contact you first. He wants you to contact him first, and if you don't contact him, he'll respond to you, but he's not gonna contact you first. And that comes from an ego. Why would I hit that person up? Why would I contact that person? And that comes from ego. It's like, you're gonna ruin your relationships. People are gonna, it's not. I don't even need to explain how bad of a fall you can have from an inflated ego. Because first of all, you're not that great. I'm sorry to say, you're not like better than anyone else. I don't care who you are. You're not better than anyone else. We are all the same. We can all have different attributes and have different statuses and have different struggles and different tests, but we are all the same under God. But I mean, we have our differences, like I said, but superficial differences. We are all humans, right? But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about, and I kind of went on a rant, and I don't even know what this video was about, but I am back on YouTube. I am a filmmaker, I am a YouTuber, I am into religion, I'm into politics, I'm into history, I'm into art, I'm into learning and reading and writing. And yeah, if you like all those things too, if you understand what I'm talking about, you're on a different wavelength, and I need you to follow me ASAP. So, peace.